Yeah, morning trades. Well, let's start off with, as we usually do with the dollar, and we can see the dollar's struggling as the week gets underway. Risk is seeing a bit of a bid. Those equity futures are up again, and we can see UK, European indices all in the green after a positive close from the bulk of Asia, the Aussie index and the Nikkei. So yeah, I'm going to be watching if the dollar comes back down to that 21-day exponential moving average, and if it breaks through there, the next level is obviously around the 50-day simple moving average in terms of support, and the 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. RSI is a bit in no man's land, so can't really discern anything there. In terms of upside targets, I'd be looking towards this 105 area here, and then above there we've obviously got the former high at around 105.5. Looking at the US 500, we can see it's rebounding a bit off this 3637 low area. I wonder if it's going to see some resistance at this 38.2 Fibonacci retracement around just above 3.8k. The RSI is trying to make a bounce off this oversold territory here too. Interesting one as markets come back online today, especially from the US, given their holiday yesterday. Euro US dollar, are we seeing a bit of a double bottom here potentially? Bounce off this neckline and bounce off the support level here, into that 23.6 Fibonacci retracement. And we've also got the 50-day simple moving average there too. So that'll be an interesting level to watch and see if price can overcome it. The RSI moving sharply higher from nearing oversold territory, still got some room to run before overbought concerns and where that resistance, which is held quite well, that 62.55 comes into play. Let's move on to cable. It's a big week for the pound, obviously with that inflation data out tomorrow. Pound's making some moves back into that 123 level. We've got 124 to 23.6 Fibonacci level just above there, and the 21-day exponential moving average. On the downside, this 122 support here needs to be watched if price was to sell off. Euro GBP, we can see here that price is just below this 0.86 level. It's really important, and the RSI still has some room to run before it reaches that level of resistance there. In terms of the next level to watch, I'd be looking around 0.865, and then on the downside, I'd be looking towards 0.85, where that 50-day simple moving average is. And for a deeper sell-off strength in the pound against the euro, we've obviously got the 200-day simple moving average at 0.845. Dollar yen, still maintaining its gains from last week Friday, just above 135. The RSI is pretty close to overbought territory, but with yields moving higher, the yen continues to weaken as their central bank, Bank of Japan, pins their Japanese government bonds with their yield curve control. On the downside, I'd say around about 132. This could be a good level of support to keep an eye on. It's the former highs here, back from April and May. Let's move on to Aussie dollar. Aussie dollar is seeing a nice little bid high this morning against the dollar, just below that 0.7 level. RSI in the middle of no man's land. But risk, obviously, as I mentioned earlier, high beta enjoying its run of late. And then on the upside, we've got this 0.71 level that is key in terms of resistance. Aussie dollar JPY making a nice little bounce, got down to close to that 50-day simple moving average, but price is rebounding now. Could we hit that 96 level there, which was the former high seen back in April, and potentially charge higher. The RSI has quite a bit of room to run. Going to gold. Gold's looking very quiet, not much volatility there. It's hugging that 200-day simple moving average, just above that 1830 former range resistance, and 200-day simple moving, 50-day simple moving average above that around 1868. RSI, bit in no man's land, so not really too much to discern from that. Let us go on to crude, not Bitcoin. Here we go. So we can see with crude, it's bouncing off that 50-day simple moving average. It fell just below that former range resistance, and it's finding some support to that 50-day simple moving average. And now we need to overcome that 21-day exponential moving average. It needs to pop its head above this range resistance too. And it looks like, this uptrend will be continued, a series of higher lows. And the RSI has still plenty of room to charge higher. That's it for today's episode of Technical Tuesdays. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.